Hello guys, and welcome back to my channel. Today we will be talking about pliers. I will try to make a shorter video about it because it's kind of on point here. Some pliers you see a lot on my videos, so I will begin with that because it's my favorite one. And it's Maun brand flat nose pliers. Why they're so good? You know, when I started to do jewelry, I made a lot of jewelry pieces from copper, and it is like really hard metal to work with. So I used different pliers because I was like, pliers, what can be so special about them? Actually, there is special in them. First of all, because they're parallel ones. What that means, it's actually a control to you not over push your piece you're making. So it's really important because if you're trying to work with heavier gauge of metal, it's really easy to get mark in there. And especially with different kind of pliers. I spend like ton of time removing marks from my metal. So after these ones, that time kind of gone away. Of course, you have to like remove it still, but it's not like it was before. So I really appreciate them. What else about them? You always have that flat top to work with. And what that means, you can hold your piece better. You can file your piece and not go away from the center. It just like keeps you in center, in place. And that's really important when you're making jewelry, when you're bending stuff too, like you already have 90 degrees angle. When I got those flat nose pliers, I wanted more because I really love how they are made. It's like sticking in your hand. It's really comfortable to work in, and I really enjoy to hold the metal in my hand. So we have T-nose pliers and half round just to make rings or rounder bendings in the inside. I don't use these that much because I prefer just those flat nose, but it depends what you're doing. Other pliers, which I love and always use them, you always see them in my videos too, and they are Tronex pliers. They're really expensive ones, so you have to splurge if you want to get them. Really nice handles. The weight on them is really nice too, like you feel it like it's balanced out in your hand. So I prefer them for more detailed work when I want to hold the piece like in a certain corner and like not slip away. So you're like, making a mark there more, but it holds the piece better. It's not slipping, and yeah, I love the metal on them. So from these, I love the most flush cut pliers. You never get wrong like with the flush cut, and it really does that flush cut. With less expensive ones, you never get that flush that much. You still have that edge. You still have the edge like really small with these ones too, but it's like, a few seconds to remove it and not like ruin your flat piece already. I really want another pair just to have ability to cut a bigger gauge, but it is a splurge, so I have to prepare for that still. So I'm still working and flatten my pieces with my hands. What I have more, I have green handle ones. This is wubbers. I hope I'm pronouncing that well. Wubbers pliers, and these ones are Beadsmith. So wubbers pliers has really nice handles. Really, like, it's so good to work with, and I like that length they have because it's like in my hands, it's like a sweet spot. And you really see them on my videos too. I have round ones and I have oval ones. So if I want to make links, oval ones or round ones, I do that with these if I don't have to have like a lot of them, and just for a certain piece or something. They're really nice. I really love these ones. All the pliers are limited by the gauge you can work with them. So keep that in mind, because when you are thinking that nylon ones will make a mark in your piece, but it won't bend them good too. So, be aware of that in what kind of scale of gauge you're working with, because I usually love to work with heavy metal, with thicker pieces. I'm risking on these all the time, but they're going strong. And from Beadsmith, I have ring bending pliers, maybe bracelet bending. If you're working with thinner gauge, thinner sheet or wire, nylon is really good to have on because it's like, you know, you're not marking your metal. From these two, I would take these ones for ring bending, and I'm, you know, doing crazy stuff sometimes with my bendings, so it's not just for rings. So for me, it works differently. And sometimes I'm like going with thicker metal on nylon too. That's why you see that it's a bit like, you know, crumbled already. And when I started, I haven't had a ring bender. So, you know, I really pushed with these pliers a lot, and on a heavier gauge too, because I really wanted to bake it. And, you know, all that mandrel and hammering and things like that. And what we have else? Oh, we have bigger ones. Wait. And when I'm talking about bigger ones, I mean these. These are really sturdy pliers for, I don't know, I use them for like everything. If I need to like bend something, or if I need to even make my own tools and bend other metal. So these are for that activity, for moving wires too, for holding them, for twisting them together. So without these ones, I can do certain things, but they're like, you know, random basic pliers with teeth. When you're buying pliers, always be aware of the gauge you're working with and you want to use them for. So for example, I have these pliers, which is really good ones, but they're not making a hole into my thicker metal. I use them just on certain activities if I want to make a hole in really thin. What else I have from Beadsmith too, just to make round bezels sometimes, jump rings, whatever you need to do. I do more than rings. I just, you know, look at the shape, and sometimes I take just the edge of the pliers and work with that. So, you know, I always experiment with my stuff. I have bigger cutters too if I want to snip something really quick and it's not really thick metal. So it's quick, you know, and easy. And sometimes you need to do some cutting and you don't want to saw everything. You know, I had practice with really cheap pliers too, and when I came out of them, I was so happy because my creativity was just blasting and not just like removing marks from my metal. So it is important what you're doing with your pliers. Sometimes my creativity is like ruining my pliers too, but you know, I just have a vision and I go for it, and pliers have to help me. So, you know, they're my co-workers. I love my pliers. For sure, they're more expensive ones and you have to splurge if you want to get them. But I was getting them like one by one, not buying in the same purchase. So that made it easier. But I really was quick on buying these pliers because when I saw that quality and how it helps to get my work done, I was just like, give me all those. And I truly enjoy to work with them. They're sticking in my hands, they're really comfortable, and I work with them almost 5 years now. Almost with all of them actually. So, you know, I really beat those pliers up. Alright, so we have to finish this video. I hope this information was helpful for you. A lot of you asked for pliers videos, so I had to do it. I hope you like it, and I will see you in my next one.